my dogs, stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no, we don't hide. I can never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs stay by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup here on a Monday night between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They will be led out by their second-year quarterback, the third QB taken in 2018, Sam Darnold.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. And his first pass is incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and that'll bring up second down. Offensive starters, here they are. And Delaney Walker, Charles, it's a guy that you and I said we wanted to discuss a bit.
Yeah, and we should, because remember, he came out of college as a wide receiver, so he's one of the early guys to move from a wide receiver position to tight end and still run routes as if he were a wide receiver. An excellent target.
Second down and 10, Darnold looking middle, and it's incomplete. One of his main targets, Delaney Walker, the intended receiver. Third down here.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons, Ezekiel Elliott. This one is stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. On second down, Elliott. And an alley to run. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses. Those exact type of runs.
That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, his 9th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
We see so many good battles in the NFC East, and Cowboys and Giants, they rarely disappoint. They didn't disappoint last year. Cowboys got the better of the Giants both times. Week 2, 20-13, and then in Week 17, a thriller, 36-35. That was a game where Dak Prescott threw 4 touchdown passes. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
That's on Kevin Zeitler, acquired in the Odell Beckham trade. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Play action. It's Darnold. Looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he's got this down to the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Now it's Darnold. Out to the right here to Shepard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Big Geno Atkins there to bring him down. To throw on 2nd and 6. Darnold. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. DeMarcus Lawrence has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're 1st place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try and at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And he finds Tyler Kroft. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
That is caught at the 7. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. That is caught inside the 5. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal. Now Rodgers. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Chris Godwin, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here's Darnold. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they let you play.
This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Well, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And Tate's got it. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First catch so far for Tate, and he's got a first down. Darnold now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Now Lewis here on first down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
They'll run it with Elliott, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it, and the Giants are going to... take over in great field position. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need. So maybe that's what influenced him there. I'm guessing because I have no other explanation.
Yeah, that's tough. Own side of the field, that chunky yardage to pick up. Head scratcher. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good time.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Remember, with Rosas, there was some speculation last year in the preseason that he might not hold on to his job with the Giants.
But he certainly answered the challenge, didn't he? 32 of 33 during the regular season, 97% that is, and was named to the NFC Pro Bowl team. And by the way, at 6'3", 234, he can bench press your kicker.
Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big pickup of 38. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. A 1-yard run on 1st down, another yard that gets him into the end zone on 2nd down. Maybe not much for the yards per carry average, but hey, 6 points.
Yeah, bottom line is it doesn't matter there. You've got to find a way to wedge it into the end zone. Yards per carry, that's out the window. How do you score? And on the 2nd down, they had something going. They got a yard before. They thought they could do it again, and they got it done.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little...
Oh, and Lewis lost the football. And the Cowboys have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
They had 2 tight ends in the formation on that one. It looked to me like he had his pick of receivers downfield.
I think he was just planning on going over the middle. That's what he did.
Picked up 1st down, too.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, the plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, he creates a penalty.
Inside. No. Check.
The final shot before half for Rodgers. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, where it was the Redskins who were victorious in that one on the road. Jared Goff, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were winners in that one over the visit.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Week 9 wrapping up here tonight at MetLife Stadium. Time to look ahead to Week 10. Thursday night football. We'll be heading cross-country tomorrow to get out to the Bay Area. We'll see the Chargers and the Raiders from the East Bay. The Raiders down to 4 more home games. That's it. Left in Oakland. Now throwing on first down and completing it. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. With Cole Beasley now in Buffalo, you think that might open up some more targets for Michael Gallup. Last year as a rookie, 33 catches for the Dallas Cowboys. This is Elliott. Oh, fighting off the defender. And some room to maneuver. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. He digs them partway out of the hole that they're in. It's an 8-yard gain, and it makes it 3rd and 12.
26.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And the grab by Croft. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And that's the big fella's M.O. right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rodgers. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. DeAndre Baker, the first corner chosen in this year's draft, there to make the play defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Aaron Rodgers on fire, his 5th touchdown pass of the ball game as his guys continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance, and most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. A lot of eyes on Golden Tate this year to see if he can take over some of the production that OBJ had before he got shipped to Cleveland. You know, Beckham had 1,000-yard season 4 of his 5 years in New York. Golden Tate struggled at the end of last year in Philadelphia, but he had a really good run in Detroit, including 3,000-yard seasons in the middle of this decade. On second down now. It's Lewis. Dion Lewis. Touchdown, Giants. Dion Lewis, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants gain a bit of respectability.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin. But it's going to be 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. To throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 26.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
A first down carry by Elliott. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown of the night, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the